interesting, the beaver. My dad taught me, the very first thing he taught me, very first thing, no, but he taught me about the beaver. Carry this beaver wood around. 2 months later, this is the first piece. They almost look like you can go end to end. I mean, it's just perfect how they match up. I mean, maybe not to your eye, but my spiritual life. Then a year later, after I'm bragging about my beaver wood to my boyfriend, because, you know, this is how I try to pick up guys, impressing them with my beaver wood that I find alongside the creek, the Columbia River, that they're blowing up the dams. But anyway, so I bring it out, you know, we're not even talking about it, trying to make this quick. It's just laying beside us and start laughing. I went, right on this carpet. This thing split. It split. It split more. I know it was, but it was my pounding. I split both of them by just going bang on the floor. These were laying about 3 feet. And we both seen it pop. Now I know about wood. I'm an arborist. I know how wood, I brought it in off the river. Yes, it was losing moisture. Yes, it could have cracked at any time. But for it to crack at that particular time, you couldn't ask for a better. My Illuminati boyfriend saw me crack beaver wood. Okay, we're moving on. So, I haven't been paying attention. Here, a lot of uniforms and things through this book and mythology, and even in American Indians, a beaver was always somebody special. You know, the mighty animal. Now then I'm going, what's so special? I'm a tree trimmer. And there was a lot of tree trimmers who we work like beavers. And we used to make fun of that, you know, but it's really very true. And these guys, but through all of this, there's one thing I want you to think about, what's very common and well known about the beaver, which is not mentioned in this book. Not mentioned in the book. So I go, what is special? Don on Three Hearts Church was the first time I saw an interview with Don from the cloning stations. And he was getting in and trying to describe what was going on down there, right? And he says, well, they do weird things with animals. And he brought that up a few times. But the one time when he particularly spoke specifically about animals, he says, well, they do really gross things you wouldn't believe. It's unbelievable what they can do. He goes, like, the beaver. I went, why in the animal kingdom, why would that be mentioned first? There's those fiercer animals, you would think. These beaver makes habitat for 1,000 different species of insect, fish, birds, aquatic moose, and they share their dens with other animals. Now, I'm studying about the beaver, and I'm going, okay, I got to get away from all this, right? So I'll go on that stupid machete path is what I'm going to start calling it. They call it the Heritage Bring America Together. Oh, yeah. They rode right over here on that path. You had that figured out, didn't you? Never mind that. Okay. So I'm walking, and I see something. I'm trying to get some broke-ass aquarium stuff. I used to call it wild aquarium, but I got to face my facts. It's broke-ass aquarium. And I'm going to get him some live plants. So I'm down there at the irrigation ditch trying to dig out some stuff, and I see something making a V, and I know it isn't a bird because it's low to the water, so I just melt. You see them aliens melt? I can melt like that in the forest. I'm down. And I had to make some crunchy noises because I had to slither into the bush, you know, just a little tall grass. I'm small, man. I'm a chipmunk. And here it comes. He kind of stopped and weathered around. I thought, oh, he saw me. Comes floating by. I could not believe it. It was a kit. I didn't know if it was full grown. I saw about this big. His tail was sideways. I was trying to see if it was a muskrat. But he was using his tail as a rudder. I'm like, oh, that's a freaking beaver. You got to be freaking kidding me. He went through the culvert. I was thinking, I forgot to tell you what happened. Went through the culvert and goes through, and I waited for him on the other side. I saw a V. He fooled me. He was ahead of me. He came out, and I was walking down trying to, because the grass is really tall. It's hard to see down. They got the irrigation deep down in there. So as I'm coming up, I've lost him. He flipped a couple of times. I could keep up with him, you know, walking alongside the access road. Well, anyway, so I'm looking for him. He disappeared on me, and here comes his mom or his dad, about a 30-pound beaver, coming down dragging a stick this big with leaves on it. Man, took it right into that culvert. I was following him probably for about 100 yards. There's families all up and down. That place filled up like it filled like bees to honey on that field. They were parking in the street. The parking lot was full. All was up and down, parking up the street. All the families up and down. You know what they thought it was? A fish. She kept telling her kid, I was following it. I got people's attention because they're walking up on the dike. I'm down below in the irrigation ditch. They have no idea. But the thing about it is, the previous evening, I saw a PBS special, and it's on right now. This is May 22nd, I believe. And my clock, my cell phone is still, now it's almost 11 minutes behind. This is the only thing I have. It started out 8 minutes behind, perceivably March 8th. Around April 1st, I looked at it, I said, well, let's see how, I said, oh, it's 8 minutes. About 4 days later, I went to check it again. It was 9 minutes. Now it's exactly about 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes and about 25 seconds behind. That's how I'm behind, or I'm ahead, or something's going on. This does not match up to this since March 8th. 8. Break the circle of 8. The candy cane, never mind that. The night before, I see this beaver special on the PBS. I want to get away from the beaver stuff. The night before, I'm looking at this whole thing. I go, oh, wow. But there's still a missing element that they never said. You gotta watch that. There's no way I can explain how they were introducing the beaver back into. There was 3 main women, witches. There was a woman taking care of a little baby. She was a Vegas girl. She looked like she was an old-time Vegas girl. There's no way she's raising beavers in her backyard. Give me a break. Then the in-between woman, who was a biologist, and she's like this back and forth. And then the old lady at the end, who had to reintroduce the beaver and she just started crying. She's this little wilted-up witch. Go look at it. It's PBS, and it has something to do with beaver in the title. And you just have to watch it. You tell me. You tell me, watch this beaver thing. Why? Why now the beavers? So and the next morning, I go get away from the beaver stuff. I find a kit and a full adult. And I really learned a lot about the style of the beaver and forgot about how much it did. That's why I want to talk about the beaver. It's the beaver sometime came into my life. And this is baby beaver wood. Hey, I prize this. I was thinking of selling everything, and I'm looking around, I'm going, well, the beaver wood stays. Why would I say that? No, my guitar's sitting right here. Of all this stuff, I say the beaver wood stays. See, this is how my God works. This is how my Father. There's something in this beaver. Even in the front page, even in this book, the beaver. Even in totem poles, American Indians. Hey, the American Indians and their allies kicked the Vikings' ass. I've got something coming up on the Queen, man, that's going to blow your butts away. Yeah. Thank you, Globe.